It really is an historic move here because Sheryl and Mark have been somewhat of a power couple internally at Facebook and now Meta. It was also thought that she would be sticking around to help really lead the company internally through this transition. So just how significant is this, in your view, when it comes to Meta's future operational performance here?
Sure. Look, it's a big loss. That said, I think you're not going to see much of a reaction tomorrow in the daytime market either. And the reason is that this has been expected for a while. She stayed longer than probably anyone imagined she would have. And if you think of the same kind of transition back at Google, when when Eric Schmidt eventually stepped down, the parental kind of adult in the room role that she originally filled just isn't needed anymore.
The parental adult in the room role. And, it's interesting because that's exactly right. Sheryl Sandberg, in a way, gave Mark Zuckerberg the agency and the freedom that he needed in order to be the visionary founder that he is. Of course, that all changes now. What's next here? Because Javier Olivan, Sandberg's replacement, is coming in. What does he bring to the table, and what does he need to do on a go-forward basis to right-size this transition and to ensure that Meta achieves the objective here?
I think, all that he needs to do to succeed is not make headlines. You had two very powerful people at the top of Facebook with Sheryl and Mark, and Mark's obviously the controlling shareholder and the founder, so he's going to be the survivor there. Here, in this case, they've just got to stay out of the headlines, and so he's just got to keep his head down and his nose clean.
What confidence do you have in Mark Zuckerberg to lead Meta into its next phase and to ultimately get Meta stock out of the penalty box?
I have a good deal of confidence that he can execute. The bigger question is just this bet the farm play on the metaverse. Will it work or will it not? That all depends on how fast that market matures. So I'd say he's the right guy to lead the company in that direction. The bigger question is that the right direction?
Yeah, so what is next for Meta? Do you think investors can actually bet on Meta and the metaverse if this is going to be a thing in the future?
You can. It's one of the better plays out there for this. That said, public investors are very short-term oriented, and with the amount of losses they're going to have to incur for this business for a few years, the question is whether investors have the patience or whether the stock goes further down in the interim.
Do you buy the stock here?
Yeah, I bought some recently, but not a lot. And the reason, again, is, this is a big bet. I mean, I've certainly tried out the most recent, Oculus headset and so on. I'm not the target market, but I would say I used it for about 10 minutes and then gave it to my son. So they're not there yet. The whole market's not there yet for a kind of a broad, a broad market adoption play just yet.